Infusing programmatic buying with creativity. Now this is thoughtful. Hello, I'm Clement Tsang in Shanghai. Since Advertising Age announced this summer that Procter & Gamble wants to buy up to 75% of its US digital media programmatically by the end of this year, programmatic buying has become an even bigger buzz phrase for the industry. As Ad Age quickly pointed out, P&G's goal is ambitious for the world's biggest media spender. Until now, its use of programmatic buying has been limited to small tests. But it's a clear signal that every major marketer needs to be looking at programmatic buying, even though many CMOs remain confused about what the term means and how to implement it. This is also true in China, but the market is advancing quickly. The internet market research firm iResearch predicts ad spending in demand-side platforms here will top $2.8 billion by 2017. Yes, that's a small piece of this market's total ad spend, but the figure represents enormous growth. This week on Thoughtful China, we'll help you understand what stage programmatic buying has reached in China and how to add creativity into the automated ad buying process. My guest this week is Winder Chen, co-founder and CEO of Kuaizi Technology, which specializes in exploiting the power of big data infused with creativity. The first product launched by Kuaizi is a programmatic creative platform that enables creative cloud management, creative real-time testing, dynamic creative ad serving, and data analytics. Our viewers may remember Winder from his last appearance on Thoughtful China, when he was leading digital media and innovations at Procter & Gamble in Greater China. So we hope Winder will share some predictions with us about P&G's likely plans for programmatic buying in China as well. Winder, thanks for coming back to our studio. Let's start talking about why you founded this company, what you saw in terms of the gap, and what's your mission?
I mean, when me and my partner, we were incubating the project, we were observing some of the trends in the industry. And I think we observed a couple of insights. One is that we thought that the programmatic ecosystem is actually half-built. It's not very inclusive. And a lot of DSPs and ad exchanges, I think they're building the pipes, and I think they'll start trying to, cash out. But the problem there is, I mean, they haven't figured out, what should run in the pipe, right? So I think you can refer back to the TV media. When TV media was at its birth, TV stations appear, things appear on a small TV box, right? And at first, advertisers were skeptical. And I think they were, holding their money back a little bit. But TV stations start to produce their own shows and programs and, of course, shooting their own TV ads. But later, content creators actually come in and shoot a lot more like exciting contents and programs. And of course, also, taking charge of the ad content. Then I think, the industry took off. I think the programmatic media and the internet media actually is going through the exact same phase. I think that's number one. Number two is we think that programmatic at the moment is actually limited to the scope of trading, right? And I think RTB is right now, I think, the industry is actually equalizing programmatic to RTB. But we think that one thing that's lacking there is actually creativity. Programmatic should be fueling creativity. And I think third thing is the good old creative industry is actually left out. They're currently not wired to the industry. And when you look at computer, again, looking back, I don't want to make this big reference, but you look at companies like Apple and Adobe when they, develop the personal computer. They fuel a lot of content creators that thrive in the film industry, music industry, ad industry, and design industry, and the industry, again, took off. I think those things in combination, I think, give us a sense that, hey, I think we think that there's white space out there that some new companies should tackle. And then I think that's why we have a mission there. I think we want to provide a plug-and-play solutions for the industry, the content creators, to play in the game, the programmatic game.
So I know that a lot of advertisers may not be choosing to do programmatic because they feel that it's difficult to plug in performance with deep brand integration, with social, with below-the-line events. What's your perception in terms of how do we use big data to tie into other experiences and to change the point of view of these marketers?
So I think there are three things that's constraining at the moment. The first thing is I think the industry now refer algorithm as the holy grail, but we think that algorithm is not what actually consumers sees. It's not what they get. Algorithm is the mind; it calculates, but we think that we need to start taking the codes away and talk less about numbers. And essentially, I think content fuels growth of the industry. And if you look at video sites, right? Why do you think that video sites gets so much ad revenue and has a very high year-on-year growth? It's actually very simple because the advertisers have been producing TV, ads for decades, and that's the platform that they can actually easily and directly, adapt their content to. So actually, I think they got that convenience. I think for that media. Of course, you can counter to me that hey, they're getting a lot of traffic. So that's why they grow so quickly. But again, that's because they have purchased and curated a lot of great content so that consumers actually come in and engage with the platform. So they get a lot of traffic. And I'll give you another reverse example, which is mobile. Right now mobile probably accounts for 40% of the traffic entirely. But is 40% of ad spending there? No, because advertisers and industry hasn't cracked on the code on how to create content on the smaller screen. So I think that's very, very important that we think that's constraining the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think over time, definitely from an advertiser perspective or the audience perspective, everybody's still trying to wrap their mind between a performance-driven point of view, which is very buying-focused, to more of a mid-funnel positioning, which is more about consideration, creating brand preference, creating the story, but tied to that being driven in terms of the message by the what's working in terms of which ad copy, which placement. So it's definitely an evolution of the algorithm shifting towards a audience mentality rather than just a pure buying mentality. Yes. How is the market changing? The portals, the key verticals, are they shifting inventory to programmatic? How are they doing? Do you think they have enough salespeople to really support this shift in mindset?
I think it's a pretty tricky situation because one thing that's actually preventing media to plug into the programmatic buying is that they think that if they plug into it, their media value actually depreciate. I think there probably would be a shortfall, but when you look at SEM, SEM has been always programmatic. It's growing very healthily, but there's also another human perspective, because if you consider programmatic only as trading, which means that actually computer does the trading and does the transaction, you're actually taking away the sales team, right? And I think that's sort of dehumanizing the media, and I think that's also I think it's an industry that needs to fill jobs, and I think that's also part of why they're so skeptical into moving into that realm. But once you broaden up the programmatic definition, which is not only on the RTB side, but it's actually programmatic creative, programmatic content, then I think the whole landscape opens up for a lot more opportunities and a lot more new roles and new innovations. That's not only really limiting on trading. And I think the programmatic direct and programmatic premium buy trend that's actually trying to tackle this, because essentially programmatic the mentality is we should use software to simplify the process, to provide transparency, to provide a efficient way to buy, sell, and also create, and also get the feedback loop of what consumers think, and then keep the wheel going. So I think today there's a mentality of it's sort of like chess play between media and programmatic and the industry. But I think we need to really broaden the definition up so that the landscape would be open. Yeah.
I think in my discussions and negotiations with both ad exchanges and ad networks in the last 3 months, I've witnessed a definite shift in their point of view from yield management from a supply side, where they are taking remnant inventory, but also adding some medium level inventory to the ad exchange from the ad network point of view, especially Ad China and All Yes. Trying to do a direct ad network deal now more focuses on special formats and premium CBD inventory, and the remnant stuff on the long tail is getting shifted into that exchange. From your point of view, do you think there's any platform that's doing a good job in terms of either the media supply or talking to mid-funnel type of strategies, or is everybody still sitting in this performance lowest cost per click point of view?
I think the advancing platform. I think we can name it. I mean, it's there. It's from, for example, Alibaba, right? It's the biggest ad exchange in China, but it's actually helping small, medium merchants that's kind of living in the Tmall and Taobao, ecosystem. And I think that's one interesting thing is that because that those small merchants, they essentially do everything themselves, right? They create their own content. They need to maintain their own ads. They manage their optimization. They manage their buying and delivery of the medium, and they're also responsible for their own ROI, right? And so this is actually interesting because they're doing everything together. The ecosystem of Alibaba actually helped that, feel that. Now, when you look at the broader internet point of view, where I think that the trend would be the whole internet media becomes programmatic, you're also seeing some very pioneering companies or brands who's trying to kind of consolidate things. You read about, Apple internalizing their, creative, capabilities. They start making their own advertising. You also read about Nike, internalizing their social capability, right? So, I'm probably making a prediction here, but I think there would be consolidation between the industry that the client-agency relationship would be, kind of the line would be blurred, right? And because in the past, when you are delivering your campaign, it's very linear. The process is very linear. You have an idea, you have the budget, you have the brief, you get the proposal, you revise proposal, and then you launch the campaign. But now it's a more iterative, processes, and so advertisers, brands need to start delegating some capabilities and decision making to the agency side. Agencies should learn more about what advertisers want, and things start going live, like campaigns going live. So it's about real-time and agile marketing. And the brand's communication now, I think there are three trends, right? So we talk about from static to programmatic. We're also talking about message right now, actually starting from one-to-all messaging, right? You have one message to all of your consumers or the consumers in that segment, to multiple messages to multiple consumers. So that actually requires a lot of consolidation between the client and agency side. And it's not like they have to become one company, but I think there needs to be a platform that actually wire that. And so again, programmatic needs to be automation of the processes, automation of the content creation and delivery, and a bit more real time, and essentially will be all real time. And I think and I think that's why I think it's fascinating that programmatic is going, and I think that will also fuel that kind of consolidation.
Let's take a break to hear from our sponsor, then we'll be back to hear more from Winder Chen.
Thoughtful Media proudly congratulates 5 of its TMG Originals creators for their nominations in the 2014 Tudo Video Awards. Join us August 16th and 17th at the Tudo Video Festival in Shanghai to celebrate.
Welcome back. So social media is very important to advertisers. How are they able to then use big data, programmatic buying to support social media?
I think social media is again, I think that the nature of it is multiple messages to multiple people, and it adds the multiple opinions, multiple point of views on top, so that the communication is elaborated. Because, for example, different people on social media platform, they see, they see topics and news. They start comment on it. That means multiple people have their multiple point of views that probably focus on the similar theme or similar topics. And different people receive different messages and then start responding to that. And that's actually, then it's a mix of multiple messages, multiple POVs that elaborate the communication, elaborate the. So I think programmatic, the nature of programmatic is actually, going this way. And if you look at news syndication, I mean, we have a lot of apps and news media that's using programmatic software to syndicate contents. That means that they want to recommend a different news that based on personal preference, right? And then based on your for example, if I see a message, I see a news that I like, and I share my perspective on it. If I share it on social network, then you will see it, and you will start see, oh, this is how he feels, and they will start building that conversation. So I think pay media in the long run would be going that way, and I think actually programmatic technology is going to feel that because the pay media with programmatic tools like programmatic creative is for brands to turn the traditional pay media into places that they can actually respond to what the market, what the topics are, like World Cup, like other hot news that happened today. When you're running a campaign in the future, when you see which team has won the World Cup, right? You have a way and have a capability to respond to that that message, and that's actually very hardwired to the social media, and the whole medium, the nature would become social. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it relies on obviously the advertiser and the agency's agility, their business readiness, and their understanding of digital in order to be able to pivot and spin messages based on the listening data. And again, I guess we should switch to P&G. I mean, they made a huge statement about how their intention and goal is to shift into programmatic. What's your point of view about programmatic for P&G in China?
I think P&G has a great team there. I think they must have a very strong plan in place. I'm not sure about whether at the end of the year it would be 70%. I think 70% is a very, very high number. Is on the aggressive side of it. But I think it's for everyone. I mean, this is the world's biggest advertiser and the biggest brand builder who wants to leverage the trend of programmatic and has made plans for it. And I think they have a talented team. They have the ecosystem ready because a lot of capability that's set up there. So I think I'm very happy that they have a plan on it, and I'm actually feeling proud of it because I was part of it before. But I think this is also a good news for everyone who's now working in this area because I don't think it's a matter of would it become 70% at the end of the year? I think it will get there at some point, but the trend is there. I mean, here's a big guy coming out and say, let's do that, and I think everybody should do the same thing. Yeah.
So, in your opinion, what do you think is the key challenge for P&G in moving forward to reach this very ambitious goal?
I think today for Procter & Gamble, and I think it's the same for the industry, the product and the technology is actually ahead of the operation. And so I think the challenge there, the biggest one would be on the organization and on the operation. P&G has the largest marketing and brand organization in the world, and the whole operation is very well established, right? And when you want to move on to the programmatic, it takes a lot of efforts to get everybody who's involved in that process to start learning about it. And so when I was still in P&G, I think we were building the DSP system, and I think we essentially had to restructure the whole planning buying process. And I think planning buying is still, again, the end part of it. But how do you actually get marketers and brand builders actually, start from, traditionally you go, mine data from, traditional research. Now you start looking at DMP data, right? How do you extract insights from it? And traditionally you again, create content with a very streamlined process. And now it becomes real time. How do you deal with that? And then how do you accumulate longer term insights with all these tools and analytics? That's not what I think the traditional world of brand building is used to. So I think there are a lot of efforts need to be spent behind organization trainings, frameworks, tools. So it's a huge project. And I think the project is about education. And I think that's essentially the same thing for the industry, not just for P&G.
It's not new news, right? I mean, Procter & Gamble has been building out its DMP for 3 years. So although some people who haven't observed the space think that it's new news, it's actually in development. It has built in and invested in capability and people. So it's a natural trajectory for P&G as a leader to continue driving in that direction. Yep. The question then will be for the challenges in second, third, fourth, and fifth place. What are the challenges they're going to face in order to build out their DMP and then finally their programmatic buying capability? So Winder, what are the key challenges for your business moving forward in this year?
Well, I think we have a lot of roadblocks. I think, but it's actually, again, it's not on the tech side. I'm again and again, emphasizing the human side of the business. The first thing I think would be with the industry actually getting used to what the operation is right now. I think we need people to kind of change their mindset. And I think we need the industry to kind of be determined. I think we at Kuaizi Tech, we're very determined, and we have very strong determination to kind of trying to steer that trend up. But I think we need the whole industry to also kind of add on it. I think second part of it is I think creative industry would be a big partner with us. But creative industry probably would think that, hey, are you guys actually using robots to take away their work? I think I would need to clarify this, and this clarification will go on and on, because we're not trying to take away creative. We're actually providing a bigger canvas, a bigger space for creativity to play and to kind of plug into the programmatic world. And so I'm going to talk to a lot of creative industry thought leaders to see, hey, how this kind of tools and platforms can actually help them expand their creativity. So so that's the second thing. I think the third thing is, are we scaling up and big enough to make a difference? We may not in the short run. That's why I think we need to hold hands with a lot of partners, because I don't think we will be the only one who's doing this. I think there will be, hopefully, a new trends of new startups and innovations in this region to start thinking about that. And that's important for us. And I think we want to work with a lot of different partners, DMPs, DSPs, medias, and creative agencies and ad agencies. And really, trying to complete the ecosystem. So that's, I think, our goal and our mission.
Winder, thanks for coming to our studio today.
Thank you, Clement.
That wraps it up for today. Be sure to subscribe to us on Youku, Tudo, and YouTube. You can also follow us on Weibo, WeChat, and Twitter, and join our LinkedIn group. See you again.